Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the Google Drive. Now, your Google Drive is your online storage. And if you go from the Google homepage into your waffle to the Google Apps, the Google Drive is the triangle-shaped icon. So what we're able to see is on the left-hand side, we have all the options that are available to us. And I'll go through these now. So at the top, we've got the new item that we'd want to add. So we'll have a look at those at the end. But to start off with, the My Drive, this is your personal data. So anything that you choose to create, your documents or folders, your My Drive, only you have access to those unless you choose to share them with others. So within the My Drive, everything is secure, and in school it'd be similar to your personal login on the school server. The next one that we have is the shared drive, and going back to the school server analogy, the public drive that all staff have access to would be your shared drive, and what you're able to do is add documents to this and have different people able to access the different folders. So where in school on your server, everybody can access everything. Here, you're able to add different people to different groups, depending on the access that they need. The other thing that we can do is if we open it, you can see that there's 57 people added to our DCF ICT in the school. They all have access to all of these documents. But some will have access to edit, some will have access to view, and some will have access to be able to delete some of those folders as well, where they are. And at the top right, you'll be able to manage those members there. Okay, if we go down to Shared With Me, within a Shared With Me, I go to my personal one, what you're able to do is to see all the folders or documents that have been shared with you from their classes. So it may be that you've got work that's been shared with you through the Google Classroom, or folders that have been shared with you from other members of staff or other pupils. And what you'll be able to do is see that from that Shared With Me, you'll be able to add a shortcut to it to your drive. What that allows then is that you can access that folder or that piece of work in your Google Drive. Anything that then is edited on that piece of work or in that folder will also update and edit in your drive as well. So it's a live update. If you want to make a copy of it, you would go down to Make a Copy, and what that does is it gives you a copy of it as it is. So any future edits made by the other people or other parties involved, you wouldn't have those edits then made on yours. If you're working collaboratively, what you would want is that add shortcut to the drive so that you're able to all work on the same documents. The recent is obviously the documents that you've been working on recently, with the most recent at the top, and then as you scroll down, older documents. Your starred file is a quick link to the documents that you feel are most relevant to you. So you can see that I've got Christmas music still in mine, which I can remove from my start, since I won't need it for another 6 months. But I then have all the folders that I think are most relevant to me and the documents that I access most frequently. In order to add them to those, if I go back to my drive, I can right click on my folder. This then brings up the different options that I have. So I can star that folder. I can also, if I want to, rename it here, and I can change the color of it in order to color code my Google Drive folders so that I can find them more quickly. Okay, we also have the trash, which are any documents that you've deleted in the last 30 days. After 30 days, they're automatically deleted. And at the bottom, you can see the storage With this being a Google for Education account, you have unlimited storage in your My Drive and also in the shared drive, so you don't need to worry about those filling up. The other thing that we can do is in the search bar at the top, you can either search for a file or folder if you know the exact name, or if you can remember the type of folder it is, you can search using the folder type, or if you know who owns that work and you're looking for it, you can change that and search using the different criteria there. Okay, if you want to share a folder with somebody else, so if I wanted to share my 360 Safe Comments folder, at the top of my options, I can then choose to share that with somebody else. All I need to do is add in their email address and click done. And then anybody who has that, then I'm able to decide what settings they have. So anyone within the hub group can see. I can change it to anyone with a link, and I can change it also from that they're just simply a viewer of that folder to they're also an editor of that folder. So if I decide to share it, I can then change the permissions for those people that I've decided to share my work with. This is how collaboration between schools will be most effective, is having either a folder in somebody's My Drive or shared drive. I should say that using the shared drive would be the way to go for collaboration, in that if I was the holder of the folder that's being used by everybody collaboratively, and then I leave working in Wales, that folder will then be deleted when my account is deleted. Whereas if it's created in the shared drive, everybody has access, and regardless of who leaves, work in that folder will always exist. Okay, the last thing to see is how to create folders. So going back to My Drive, if I go to New, and in the folder, I can just create a test folder. Then that's then created for me in My Drive. If I open that, you can see that it's empty. I can drag and drop files and folders, files from different places. We can't yet drag a whole folder from a pen drive, for example, in. You'd need to create the folder and then drag the files in individually. But if I was doing that and I've changed my settings, they will automatically go into that Google format. Once I'm in my folder, I can then go to New and create a Google Doc, Sheets, Slides, or by clicking on More, I've then got the option of the Google Forms, Drawings, Maps, Sites, and any of the other applications that are available to us through the G Suite for Education. So hopefully that's the brief introduction to Google Drive, and you'll know how to navigate your way around sharing folders and documents and being able to work collaboratively with others.